Welcome back to the DFS Sweatshop. I am your host, the DFS Jerusalem, and you can follow me, of course, on Twitter at DFS Jerusalem. Tonight, we are taking a part of the strong drink. We went back to the old faithful. This is the Crown Apple, a little splash of Sprite, in celebration of some awesome performances we had as a group in the DFS Sweatshop. Really nice showing from everybody out there. And you know what? Fuck it. I gotta get to this right now. People do not understand what the fuck we are doing in the sweatshop. And it's beautiful. I love it. I love every second of it. Okay? Because, what we're doing is we are, as a group, dominating the leaderboards right now. That's what we do in the DFS sweatshop. And it's really funny because you take a look at what's going on around the DFS world. A lot of us that play, a lot of you all that play, don't even understand what the fuck you're doing. You don't even understand what the daily fantasy sports thing is. You have no clue, and that's why it's so important. It's so important to be a part of the DFS sweatshop. What we are doing, because we are leveling the playing field. Think about it. Think about it. Let's just say I got this 6-pack of picks that I want to put out every day. Let's just say every day I'm going to tell you about these 6 guys that you should get in your lineups every day. But we're going to add to that the fact that I've got about 15 grand on any given night invested in the actual games. So I max enter every tournament I can get in my hands on. If I'm in a single entry, I've got 10 or 12 or maybe even 100 other buddies that I hit up and tell them, hey, play the same lineup. All of this shit's going on. But not only am I'm doing all of this, but I'm also your main source of media when you want to go somewhere to find out who to play, who's hot, who you should fade, who you should be on. And think about it. If I have all this money invested on any given night, why the fuck would I tell you how to take my motherfucking money? Why? Think about it. Why would I tell you how to take my money? If I'm one of the quote-unquote best DFS players in the world, and I'm only the best player in the world because I have enough money to max enter every tournament and then turn around and tell the other people who to play, that's what makes me the best player in the world, because you can come and buy a subscription to me and what I'm telling you to do so that I get to keep my money and take yours. Not only take your money in the tournaments, but take your money for your subscription. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that motherfuckers do this shit. And that's why the sweatshop is so important, because I am just like you. We are the little man fighting together to take back our money first, and secondly, we're going to make DFS honest, because we're going to scare the motherfucking sharks away. Let me tell you something. See, the way y'all looking at DFS, the way y'all looking at it right now, the way you play and the way you participate, oh, it's just basketball, it's just baseball, it's about your picks. You're fucking missing it. It's not that. And that's why when you come in the DFS sweatshop, you get that enhanced tutelage. Like, we break it down and really teach you what the fuck you're doing, who you're up against. I looked around, I'm on Twitter today, I see cats from this. I went on this show one time. Dude, like, yo, he was cool. Come on my show. So I went on a dude's show, and I explained to him, the way we build our rosters, how we use the Core 4 system, blah blah. So look, today he releases this article. Not him, but the company he worked for. That's, I guess, a competitor. I guess whatever. They want to be a competitor, but I don't want to compete with anybody. I just want everybody to win, the little man to win. So he's got, oh, this is our core 4 for today. And he's got this Core 4 article. That's cool. I have no problem with that. Because what you did was, you saw what we were doing over here, and you saw it was working. You saw we were winning. But you don't understand it. Because it's not just about a core of 4 plays. That's the first step. That's not even it. When you come into the sweatshop and we break that shit down for you, how to build your 8-man rosters on DraftKings, your 9-man rosters on FanDuel, you get the complete understanding. But that's just the tip of the iceberg, because the number one thing that we teach is what the game of daily fantasy sports really is. It is poker. We are up against poker players. This shit is poker. And if you play poker, if you can look at the guy across from you, look at his face, and tell what he's got in his hand, if you can tell what he's got in his hand, then you know how to play your hand. And that's what we teach. We do a complete debriefing, debugging. Like, we break people down all the way down boot camp style. Like, we break that shit all the way down. Once you come in the sweatshop, you will never look at DFS the same, and you're not supposed to look at it the way they want you to look at it. Oh, it's about basketball. It's about baseball. It's not about that shit. No. All of this is just a vehicle for them to suck up your bread. But we found a remedy to that shit. And what it is us sticking together. We get together in our groups, in the VIPs, and we go through our core 4 roster builds. Now, and the beauty of this is you will never catch any of us with the same exact lineup, because that's cheating. That's collusion. We don't do that. We don't share lineups. We share strategy. We share the same strategy in order to make sure, because what you got to realize is a group of us, there's a 1,000 of us in the group. If everybody has their own legitimate core 4 plays, guys that they really like, and they build their rosters according to the next couple of steps in the roster building strategy, at some point you're going to be right. 1,000 people, some of you are going to be right. I'm telling you, every night a handful of us win, and when we win, we 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times our buy-in. This happens to sections of the group every night on every slate. Some of us win. You're just waiting on your turn. All you're doing is sticking to the process, going through with your core 4 roster building strategy, picking up your information, putting out your lineups, sticking to your bankroll management, playing no more than 10% your complete buy-in, so you have enough money to stick around and stay, right? And as a group, we're winning. If you looked on the leaderboards tonight, that's what you saw. That's what you saw. The logo, every fucking where. And that's how it's going to be. We taking this shit over. We're taking it over. And it's beautiful. It's so fun to watch. I love this shit. Because I know they hate me. I know all of the major sites, they fucking hate me. Because I'm telling y'all the truth. I'm telling you, stop listening to them motherfuckers, man. They have all of the entries in the tournament. The people, all the major sites you listen to, they are the ones that put in 50% of the money in DFS. They put in half of the money that you see in DFS. Why the fuck would they tell you how to get the money? Why would they tell you that? They're not. They don't want to tell you that. They want to take your money. But we ain't letting that shit happen. We ain't going to let that shit ride. Because in the sweatshop, we about keeping it 300 with each other and definitely on the leaderboards. So, rant's over. Let's go ahead and jump into the Core 4 review. As you know, every day I issue out my Core 4 plays. These are the 4 guys that I'm starting just about every lineup with. And there's a couple of reasons why I do this. Number one is I want you to trust me. I want you to know that the guys that I'm talking about, when I talk about my player pool and I talk about my Core 4 plays, those are the guys I'm playing. I'm not misleading you. I'm not playing 150 lineups. I can't afford that shit. I'm a regular guy just like you. My daughter might just wake up right now and come and kiss me on the cheek, and my wife might walk in and sit on my lap, and I'm drinking that pipe hardener, so that I might have to leave and exit the show for a little minute. But you know what I'm saying? I'm a regular guy just like you. I got to go to work in the morning. I just love to do this shit. I love to help you. I love to play. I love the game, right? So every day I issue out this Core 4, man. And the reason why I do this is, of course, I want you to know who I'm playing. I want you to see that I'm an honest guy. And number 2 is, if you are new to the DFS Sweatshop and you want to use my Core 4, you're more than welcome to do that. You're more than welcome to do that tonight. We had a really good showing from the Core 4. Let's go ahead and jump straight into it. The first player we're going to talk about is Patrick Beverley. Love them. A lot of people were going to be on Drew Holiday. I had no interest in rostering him at all. I straight faded him 0%. But I love Pat Beverley in this matchup. I didn't think that we were going to have to see a big Harden game for the Houston Rockets to beat the New Orleans Pelicans, and that proved to be true. So I definitely faded Harden, didn't have him anywhere. We talked about that in the sweatshop in the VIP. But at 5.3K, I thought that he was a steal for where he was at. 9% was his ownership, so the ownership was very low on a 6-game slate. To get Pat Beverley at 9% owned, 5.3K, and bring you back 30 DraftKings points, that was very solid. I was very happy with that play. And actually, he was probably the lowest point per dollar play in the Core 4 tonight. The next guy we're going to talk about is LeBron James, 10.3K, no Kevin Love. Knew he was going to be overly chalky. Knew a lot of people were going to be on him. 36% was his ownership. He went out and got 64.25 DraftKings points, triple-doubled on him. I knew that we were going to see a big LeBron James game. I'm not going to say I knew it like I'm a fucking genius, but I really felt like he was in line for a big game. Because we know he usually hovers around 50. He has one of the safest floors in the game. And I felt that without Kevin Love in this type of matchup against the New York Knicks, nationally televised game, I really felt like he would want to come out and play the full length of the 4 quarters. And even though this game was over, the game had been blown out, we still saw LeBron out there fighting to get that triple-double. Awesome game for you, LeBron. Next guy we're going to talk about is Kevin Durant. this was my late night hammer. There was a couple of reasons why I really like Kevin Durant in this game. Number one, anytime I can get a guy of that talent that's actually leading all fantasy scores and points on the season under 10K, I think that you should give him a shot. At 9.4K, the ownership was 21%. That was not very high on a 6-game slate for a guy like that. 61.25 DraftKings points, obliterated 6x value. That was an awesome showing for Kevin Durant. And probably my crown jewel, the play that some people looked at me and shook their motherfucking head. They was like, man, I don't know. I like everybody else, but I don't know about this play. And I told them, I said, look, the last time I felt like this about a guy, about this guy particularly, he went out and he dropped fucking 50. I love KCP today. And at 4.9K, 7% in ownership, hardly anybody was on him. On a 6-game slate, to get a guy 7% owned to go out and drop 52.25 DraftKings points, that is excellent. That is exactly what you want. From this type of performance, that's exactly what you want. And KCP, man, he went out and he fucking balled. And a guy asked me in the sweatshop, man, I understand that you've been doing this for a little while, man, but what put you onto him like that? And I'm going to put it simply, man, and I'm going to get close. I watch every NBA game. I watch every NBA game. I have not missed an NBA game in the last 2 years. I watch every game, right? And that's why I sometimes I have a good read on whose turn it is to go off, whose turn it is to have a really good game, whose turn it is to kind of fade him. And I just really felt that it was KCP's turn. Also, as you know, I live in South Carolina, man. I'm very close to the Charlotte area. I go there and I watch the Hornets a lot, and I know that the Hornets can be destroyed against the shooting guard position. Me and my wife went to Charlotte a couple weeks ago. You may remember we went to go see the Houston Rockets when they came to Charlotte, and James Harden just had his way with it. And of course, that was a part of my thinking when I attacked the Charlotte Hornets at the shooting guard position with KCP. The game did go into overtime, so that definitely was beneficial. But he had more than made value during the regulation. The rest was just icing on top of the cake. Now this core 4 was quite expensive. 29.9K was what I spent out of a 50K DraftKings salary. Man, at 5x value, that's me saying, hey, I'm not really sure how much I can help you, but I'm going to try. 5x value is the best I can do. That would have been 149.5 points. Now at 6x value, that's me telling you, yo, fuck with me. I got this. Hop in the car. I'm taking you to the 300 club. That would have been at 179.4 DraftKings points. Well, this core 4, 7x on him. 207.75 DraftKings points was what we saw from tonight's core 4. That is 7x value. What that's saying to you is, hey man, 4 other roster spots. If you get 4 other motherfuckers to put together 93 points, 300 club. So this is an excellent core 4, really great showing. This is going to happen from my calculations, 4 out of 10 slates. Fuck with us, man. We on fire, and we're going to stay this way, right? So, excellent core 4. So let's go ahead and jump into the feature 4 plays of the night. These are the 4 most talked about, tweeted about guys in the DFS sweatshop, in the Facebook VIPs, as well as on Twitter. We're going to start with the Who Dat. Scoring all them points over there, player tonight. That is going to go to Yusuf Nurkic. 14% was his ownership. 4.3K was the salary. He went out and dropped 44.5 DraftKings points. 10x on him. That was an awesome play. Very awesome play. Very awesome play there. Next play we're going to talk about is the how did I miss that play tonight? And this especially goes for me on DraftKings because you know the affection I have for my main man, Kemper. Well, apparently, dude got hosed in the Motor City because he went out there, man, and dropped 57.25 DraftKings points. 7% was the ownership, had 7.7K. This dude had an awesome, excellent game. Did get a little bit more because of the overtime, but he was already there at the end of regulation. So we saw a really nice game from Kemba Walker. And at a certain point in the game, him and KCP were fucking going at it, bro. And it was really nice to watch. Love to see Kemba play. Love to see that kid ball. A lot of people were like, man, he's dead to me. I'll never roster him again. Fuck out of here. Kemba's a beast. That's my dude. Fucking love Kemba Walker. Great game from him. How the fuck did I miss that on DraftKings? I did have him in my Yahoo League, and he helped me to have a really good finish and quadruple my buy-in over there on Yahoo. I play Yahoo. I play FanDuel, and I also play DraftKings as well. So, next player we're going to talk about is that heat check player tonight. This is the guy, he didn't have to be, the highest salary guy. Doesn't have to be the guy who scores the most points. But on tonight, all things considered, being freshly traded from Sacramento, going to a new team, new environment in New Orleans, which is kind of close to where he's from. I believe he's from Mobile, Alabama. Man, this dude went out at 11K, 6% ownership. Nobody believed in him. I didn't have him anywhere. He dropped 71.5 DraftKings points, led all DraftKings scorers in scoring on tonight. We're talking about Boogie tonight. Salute, big homie. You are the heat check player tonight. Major shout out to you. And is this something that we can look at going forward? Does this mean that, hey, this is going to be Boogie's team after a while? I don't know. But I know tonight was a really big step in that direction, man. Dude went out and fucking balled. Now we must talk about that one motherfucker. This is a motherfucker who ruined about 19% of lineups all across America. What a dirty motherfucker he was to go out and give us this string of 50s, 55, 60-point games. Crazy behind the back passes. 7-foot, 8-foot motherfucker, no look pass, Magic Johnson bouncing off your head, catch it, shoot, fake the pass, handoff, baseball pass to the middle of the court. Triple doubling ass motherfucker. You go out with your snowflake ass and you bring us back a punk ass 19 DraftKings points. You was 20% owned and you brought back 19 DraftKings points. You know what that means for us? Mr. Jokic, Nikolai Jokic, you's a motherfucking snowflake. You ran off on the motherfucking plug. And for that, I ain't gonna roster your ass again tonight. Because this game gonna make sure that your price come down just a little bit. I like that. I'm gonna give you another shot. I'm gonna roster you again. But tonight, you's a motherfucking snowflake with your snowflake ass. Let's get on with the rest of the motherfucking show. Now, at this point in the show, this is where I like to show you my very best DraftKings lineup. And I do this just because I want you to know that when I'm laying it all on the line, it's because I played the guys that I'm talking about. I'm not misdirecting you. I'm not misleading you. These are the guys that I did play when we break it down. So let's go ahead and jump into my very best DraftKings lineup. And I'm going to show you what happens when you really believe in a single lineup. This is a lineup that I really believed in, and you're going to see why. All right, so here we go. This is my very best DraftKings lineup. And this, of course, is a core 4 lineup. Now, first thing I'm going to show you is how many spots I had it in. Okay, so I had it in the 25K pick and roll, $12 lineup, $12 entry, finished in 60th place. This is the 15K hot shot 3 entry max, had it entered there 3 times. The NBA 6K high 5 single entry 3 entry max. You see what I'm doing? I'm protecting my investments. You see what I'm doing? I'm not just throwing that shit in all of the crazy tournaments where all the sharks can just swallow my money up with their multi-entries. No. The 5K daily dollar tournament, I had it in there, finished 160th place, finished 39th in the high 5 single entry. The super spin move satellite, I finished in there, got a ticket for us, for the super spin move, got a ticket for, and also the ticket for the satellite to Daytona, got that one. The NASCAR, need help with the NASCAR. Had it in the 30K and won. I entered it 5 times in there because I really liked it. Like that one. Had it in the quarter arcade 20 times in the quarter arcades. The 4K quarter arcades. I had it entered 20 times. I really like this lineup a lot. I think I had like $30 on this one lineup, $35 on this one lineup alone. Let's go ahead and show it to you, see what it looks like. All right. Now, this will show you from the core 4, man, that's how I get down. That's how I rock. Like I play my core. I play my core and I stick to the roster building strategy that we set out to use. So we're gonna start with Corpus Patrick Beverly, 30 DraftKings points for him. We've got Kentavious Caldwell Pope, another core 4 member. LeBron James, a core 4 member here, and of course we've got Kevin Durant at the bottom, rounding out the roster, scoring at 61 DraftKings points. Now, this lineup could have been so much better. I could have done so much better. I could have really took down some shit had it not been for the Kristaps Porzingis injury here. Only netted me 18.25 points, and Derrick fucking Rose with your snowflake ass. He didn't do shit tonight. 21 points for him. This lineup finished with 317.5 DraftKings points. Was good for me to cash everywhere I had it. Really decent night. Ended up 5.5 times my buy-in. Wonderful night for us here in the DFS sweatshop. Beautiful night altogether. So let's go ahead and jump into a quick recap of last night's games. The reason why we do that is so we've got to know where we've been if we want to know where we're going. And one of the major things that really keeps me profitable is watching all the games. Like I watch every NBA game, and maybe you can't do that. And that's why I want to bring you the emotion, the passion, what I feel, what I'm thinking when I roll through these recaps, because I did watch the game, so I do remember a lot of the plays that we talk about, or a lot of the stat lines that we're going to be talking about as we recap these games. So let's go ahead and we're going to start with the first game on the slate. It is the Orlando Magic at home against the Portland Trail Blazers. This was a very entertaining game. Very entertaining game. Really saw a big game from Dame Lillard, man, especially in the fourth quarter. Man, we saw some vintage Dame Dollar type Dame. So it was really nice to watch. You know, Dame Lillard is one of my favorite point guards. If you watch the show enough, you know how much I like him. Let's go ahead and jump into it. We're going to start here on the Portland side. Mo Harkless got the start in place of the injured Al-Farouq Aminu. And in 38 minutes, ton of minutes for Mo Harkless, he had 12 points, 6 boards, 1 assist, 1 steal, and 3 blocks. Pretty decent game for that price point on him. Next guy I'm going to talk about Yusuf Nurkic. In 34 minutes, the dude went ham, man. 12 points, 12 boards, 5 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. And a lot of times, all guys need is a change of scenery, man. A change of scenery, kind of a new lease on life, man. And they can play very well. Maybe that's the case with him. Really nice game we saw from Yusuf Nurkic. CJ McCollum in 37 minutes had 22 points, 1 board, 6 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block. And we saw a really nice game from Dame Lillard. In 32 minutes, he had 33 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists while shooting 52% from the field. He had 4 of 7 3-point shots. Really nice game there. Myers Leonard, he only played 11 minutes. He had 4 rebounds and 4 points in that time. Only hit 1 of 2 field goals. Not a great game there for Myers Leonard. And Shabazz Napier, off of the bench, played 26 minutes. He had 10 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals. Really nice game there at his price point. On the Orlando side, saw a really good game from Nikolai Vucevic, who we liked a lot going into tonight's action. In 32 minutes, he had 25 points, 9 boards, 2 assists, and 1 block. Fell 1 rebound shy, that double-double bonus we like to see. He didn't shoot very well from the field, 8 for 20, but he did hit 8 for 10 from the free throw line. So it's a pretty good shooting game for him all around. Terrence Ross, in his first start as a part of the Orlando Magic, in 32 minutes, big minutes for him. He had 13 points, 5 boards, 1 assist, and 3 steals while shooting 4 for 17 from the field. Horrible 23% shooting. He did hit 2 of 8 3-point shots. Not good there at all. Evan Fournier in 37 minutes had 20 and 5 to go with 2 assists, 1 steal while shooting 7 for 17 from the field. Pretty decent game there for him. Mario Hezonja in 25 minutes off of the bench. He had 10 points to go with a rebound and 2 assists with a steal. Pretty good game at his price point. And Jeff Green in 18 minutes had 8 points, 4 boards, 4 assists, and 1 steal. Only shot 33% from the field, hitting 1 of 3 field goals. Attempted a couple of 3-point shots, didn't hit any of those, but he did hit 6 of 8 from the free throw line. Next game I'm going to talk about is the Detroit Pistons at home, defending home court against the Charlotte Hornets, man. The Hornets came in smoking, man. We thought this game was going to be a blowout. Charlotte looked like they were going to run away with this game, man, but as soon as they sat Reggie Jackson, old snowflake ass, down and gave Ish Smith all around, the game completely changed, completely turned around. MKG doubled in his 38 minutes. He had 12 points, 14 boards, 2 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. And it was asked to me in the sweatshop, yo, if you had to fade a game, which one would you fade? And I was like, I would fade this game. And the only reason why I said that was because the only guy that I really, really liked on both sides that I was sure that I was going to play was KCP. All the other games had a couple guys that I kind of liked. This is the only game that had one guy that I was really in love with. So that's why I said that. But it turned out to not be a good idea because a lot of people in this game went off, man. Kemba Walker in 41 minutes had 34 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals while shooting 57% from the field. He hit 3 of 6 from behind the arc and hit all 9 of his free throws. Pretty good game there. Nick Batum, not a great game in 40 minutes. He had 18 and 6 to go with 3 assists and 1 block. We saw a nice game from Marvin Williams, 13 and 7 to go with 2 assists and 2 blocks. And Frank Kaminsky did not make value at that increased price point we've been seeing for him lately. In 39 minutes, he had 17 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block while shooting 33% from the field. And Marco Bellinelli had 4 points and 8 boards to go with 1 assist while shooting 28% from the field. On the Detroit Pistons side, I liked a lot of these guys, and I liked them for a reason. I said I did. But the only guy that I really, really wanted to play was Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, man. And he led the team in minutes, 42 of them to be exact, 33 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, while shooting 44% from the field. He had 7 of 15 three-point shots. Really nice three-point shooting game for him. 11 for 25 from the field. Really great game all around. Tobias Harris off of the bench at 37 minutes. He had 25 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 block while shooting 52% from the field. Ish Smith took over point guard duties for Reggie Jackson. He had 33 minutes and had 5 points, 6 boards, and 16 assists to go with 1 steal and 1 block. Really good game we saw from Ish Smith. And Reggie Jackson snowflaked out on us again. He played 20 minutes, only had 4 points, 1 rebound, and 4 assists. I had no Reggie Jackson. I just can't do it anymore. I was one of his biggest supporters. I just can't do it anymore. Marcus Morris in 37 minutes had 16 and 8 to go with a steal. Pretty good game there. And we saw a nice one from John Lure, 10 and 9 to go with 2 assists while shooting 35% from the field. Did not hit any other three-point shots that he took. Not a great game there from him. Next game we're going to talk about the New Orleans Pelicans at home against the Houston Rockets. The Rockets came to town, man. They were definitely the overwhelming favorite. I really did buy into the blowout narrative, so that kind of kept me off of James Harden for good reason. He went out and in 29 minutes had 13 points, 4 rebounds, 14 assists to go with 3 steals. Not a great game there from James Harden at that 12.5K price point. Ryan Anderson in 24 minutes has 17 and 4. Not a great game from him. Lou Williams, sweet Lou Williams, was fumbling and bumbling and stumbling all over the streets of New Orleans, man. He was balling, out of control. 25 minutes for him. He had 27 points, led the team in scoring, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, while shooting 9 for 16 from the field. He had 7 of 11 three-point shots. Really great game we saw from Lou Williams. Clint Capella had 15 and 8 to go with 3 blocks in his 18 minutes. And Eric Gordon, off of the bench, played 30 minutes. He had 19 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, and 2 steals. And you got to think this can't continue. Because the closer the games are going to be for the Houston Rockets, especially down the stretch, we're jockeying for those playoff positions. I don't think you're going to be seeing 30 minutes from Lou Williams and 30 minutes from Eric Gordon. Like, we're going to need to see more James Harden. So I'm going to take this game as more of an aberration than, actual fact of what we're going to see going forward. But Trevor Ariza disappointed in his 26 minutes. He had 9 and 7 to go with 2 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. Then they got the start, but only played 18 minutes. He had 9 and 3 to go with 2 steals and 1 block. Not a great game there from him. Sam Decker 8 and 4 to go with an assist. And Montrezl Harrell played 13 minutes, had 10 points, 3 boards, and 2 assists. Not a great game, but pretty decent at his price point. On the New Orleans Pelicans side, Solomon Hill played 27 minutes for nothing. This dude had 3 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. Didn't do shit. Horrible game from him. Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis dropped 29 points. He had 9 boards, 1 assist, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. And for a long time during the game, it looked like he didn't know what to do. It looked like, what you gonna do, Boogie? And Boogie was like, okay, I'll show you, and just went out and fucking balled. It was crazy. I don't like that. It shouldn't be that way. I mean, come on, man. Come on, bro. This is your team. Ball too. You both should ball. DeMarcus Cousins, he played 34 minutes, had 27 points, 14 boards, 5 assists, 5 steals, and 4 blocks while shooting 57% from the field. He did take 5 threes. Stop shooting all them fucking threes, Boogie. He only hit 1 of them. Stop it, man. But he did hit 4 of 5 free throws for 80% there. Not a great game from any of the guards. Any of them. And Omri Caspi was the next leading scorer to Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins, but he left the game with an injury. He played 23 minutes, had 12 points, and 2 rebounds. Pretty decent game at his price point. And Dante Cunningham, 5 and 4 to go with 1 assist and 1 steal. We saw Tim Frazier for 23 minutes. He didn't do shit. 2 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Not a great game there. Drew Holiday got completely shut down by Patrick Beverley, as we talked about in the sweatshop. That's why none of us were really on Drew Holiday like that. In 35 minutes, he had 6 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, and 2 blocks while shooting 3 of 12 from the field. Not a great game there. This game I'm going to be talking about my New York Knicks going to Cleveland to take on the Cavaliers, man. It seemed like a slaughter, man. It seemed like it was going to be very bad. But you know what? The one thing that this is the reason why you can't be afraid to roster LeBron in blowouts. The Cleveland bench sucks. Like those Cleveland has like one of the most horrible benches out of all the good teams in the league. Cleveland has the most horrid bench. Their bench sucks. Like it's bad. Cleveland has a bad bench. They need to go ahead and get Darren Williams as fast as possible because he'd be an instant upgrade at the point guard position than the guy that they have backing up Kyrie Irving right now. It's horrible. The one thing that Williams could do is actually play defense, and he could like kind of stop the other team's second team from running the score up or helping them catch up to whatever the starters do. So it was a bad game for the Cleveland bench, which allows the New York Knicks to make the game close enough for us to see a full 4 quarters of LeBron in the end. But on the Knicks side, Carmelo Anthony in 40 minutes, he led the team, had 20 points, 5 boards, and 5 assists. Not a great game there from him. Kristaps Porzingis, we talked about him. He only played 15 minutes. He left the game early with an injury. Sprained an ankle, had 8 points and 5 rebounds. He was cooking before he left the game, and man, it really pissed me off that he did leave. But that did open up the door for Willie Hernangomez. He had 11 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 blocks. A really good game there. Courtney Lee was somebody that we talked about in the sweatshop in the midday mix today in the VIPs on Facebook. We talked about him a lot. I told you I really liked him. We knew that you can exploit that shooting guard position against the Cleveland Cavaliers, and that's exactly what Courtney Lee did. He dropped 25 points, led the Knicks in scoring, had 6 boards, 5 assists, and 1 steal. Pretty good game there. And Derrick Rose shitted the bed. In 31 minutes, he had 13 points, 2 rebounds, and 4 assists. And there's a moment in the game I was like, was he even fucking playing? I had to turn back to the game and be like, he's just standing there. He's just standing there. And he made some comments before the game that kind of, had me unsettled. He was like, well, we really don't understand the offense, and, a lot of times I just get random shots. Like, I just have to take random shots. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? It's a triangle. Run that bitch. He just wants to leave New York, man. And his heart isn't in the game. And that's why I will not be rostering his ass again. I won't. No. Kylo Quinn, in 18 minutes, scored 4 points, grabbed 10 boards, had a steal. Not a great game there from him. And Lance Thomas, man, he started for Kristaps once they came back at the half. And pretty decent line for him. He had 9 points, 5 boards, 2 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. Pretty good game there. On the Cleveland Cavaliers side, excellent game we saw from LeBron James, man. Big triple-double from him. 18 points, 13 boards, 15 assists to go with 3 blocks. He shot 63% from the field. Only took 11 shots, but he hit 7 of them. Did not make a 3-point shot, but he did get to the line 6 times and converted 4 of those tries into points. Channing Frye really did not perform when it comes to that price point he was at. 14 points, 4 rebounds. Also, he had 2 blocks while shooting 35% from the field. Not great there. He hit 2 of 7 3-point shots. Big double-double we saw from Tristan Thompson at his price point, 10 and 14, to go with 2 assists and 4 blocks. Really nice game from him. He shot 71% from the field. Really good game we saw from Tristan Thompson. Kyrie Irving, in his 30 minutes, did not do much. Had 23 points, 3 boards, 6 assists, and 1 steal to go with a block. Not a great game there. Kyle Korver chipped in 20 off of the bench. In 31 minutes, he had two rebounds to go with 3 assists, 1 steal, also to go with that 20 points. Really nice game we saw for Kyle Korver. Next game we're going to talk about, that's going to be it, because Richard Jefferson in 23 minutes had 14 and 2. Really not much to speak about. Next game we're going to talk about is the Sacramento Kings at home, defending the home turf, going up against the Denver Nuggets. And the funny thing about this team, this Sacramento team, this is something that I alluded to in one of my previous pods, man, was that, just because Boogie left, it doesn't mean this team is just going to roll over and die. A lot of times when you get a guy that's that talented, when you have a guy that's that talented, he covers up the other talents of a lot of the players on the team. So without Boogie, man, now you really get to see who you're working with. You get to get a chance who you're working with. And yeah, the Denver Nuggets aren't really one of the best defensive teams in the league. But this was a really, really good showing from the Sacramento Kings, man. All across the board, man. Those guys really balled out. Let's talk about the Denver side first, though. Danilo Gallinari, in his first game returning from injury, the price was $5.5K. That was pretty good on him. He had 15.6 boards, 4 assists to go with 1 steal. Not bad there. Kenneth Faried played 13 minutes, had 2 and 3 to go with 1 assist and 1 block. Nah, I'm good. Jokic, man. He only played 25 minutes, was not in foul trouble. But he had 4 points, 10 boards, 2 assists. Horrible game for him. That's why he's a snowflake at play of the night. Gary Harris had a nice one, 23 minutes. He actually led the Denver Nuggets in scoring. He had 2 rebounds, 1 assist, and 2 steals while shooting 47% from the field. Hit 5 of 11 3-point shots. Really good 3-point shooting game there from him. Jameer Nelson in 29 minutes had 12 and 4 to go with 6 assists and 5 steals. That's not horrible. Wilson Chandler, he did double-double in his 28 minutes. He had 18 and 10 to go with 1 assist. Not a great game, but a pretty good game from him. Will Barton did not touch him. The price was up too much on him, especially with those guys coming back. Guys like Gallinari coming back. There was no reason for us to play Will Barton. In 32 minutes, he had 16 and 2 to go with 5 assists and 1 block. Not a great game there. On the Sacramento Kings side, Ben McLemore in 22 minutes chipped in 10 points to go with 2 rebounds, 1 assist. Not a great game from him. We saw a nice one from Darren Collison, 15 points, 4 rebounds, 10 assists to go with 2 steals and 1 block. And Willie Cauley-Stein was the play of this game. He dropped 29 points and grabbed 10 boards, also blocked the shot. He shot 62% from the field. Really nice game there. Tyreek Evans, 15 and 4 to go with 3 assists and 1 steal in his 26 minutes. And we saw 26 minutes of Buddy Hield. He had 16 and 6 to go with 1 assist and 1 steal. Pretty good game there. Another guy, Zach LaBissiere. In 13 minutes, he had 12 points, 3 boards, 2 assists, and 1 steal. And you see with Boogie gone, all these motherfuckers are playing. Like, everybody just getting the chance to play. That's what happens. And some of these guys are really good. This team is, of course, is not a playoff team. They're not going to be very great. But at least they're going to know exactly what they have, exactly what they're working with. And they're probably going to know how to fuck up the team some more according to that. That's just how they do it. Last game on the slate, and probably the most entertaining game for the first 3 quarters, was the LA Clippers traveling to the Oracle to take on the Golden State Warriors. Pretty good game we saw from DeAndre Jordan, man. In 31 minutes, he had 17 and 11 to go with 3 assists and 1 steal. Did not block a shot. That's not like DeAndre Jordan. Jamal Crawford off the bench played 34 minutes, had 19 and 1 to go with 4 assists and 1 steal. Big game we saw from Austin Rivers, man. I really liked the way he played in this game. 36 minutes, he had 19 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals. And he was all over the place, man. He was really harassing Curry for the most part, man. He had played some really solid minutes, but they just couldn't get it done. Way too much firepower in Golden State for those guys to hang. I'm sorry, I'm still getting over that flu. Raymond Felton in 23 minutes had 13 and 3 to go with 5 assists and 3 steals. Pretty good game there from him. Didn't see much else. Blake Griffin had 12 and 5 to go with an assist and a steal. Not a great game from Blake Griffin. On the Golden State side, Kevin Durant, man, big game from him. 25 points. He had 15 boards, 7 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block in 33 minutes while shooting 53% from the field. Hit 4 of 6 3-point shots. Draymond Green, not a great game. In his 22 minutes, he had 7 points, 6 boards, 4 assists, and 2 steals. Steph Curry did lead the team in scoring. He had 35 points, 7 boards, 5 assists, and 4 steals in his 32 minutes while shooting 62% from the field. He had 9 of 10 free throws and 6 of 10 from behind the arc. Really good game we saw from the chef, Curry. Andre Iguodala in 30 minutes had 8 and 6 to go with 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 steal to go with a block. Pretty good game there. And JaVale McGee chipped in 4 points and 4 rebounds in his 11 minutes. Jaja didn't do much. 18 minutes, he had 6 and 4 to go with 1 assist, 1 steal, and 4 blocks. And Draymond Green was a big fucking baby in this game, bro. He was acting like a little bitch. He got teed up at one point. I mean, he was just acting like a bitch. That's why he really wasn't having a great game. And we had to see most of the scoring load be shouldered by Kevin Durant as well as Steph Curry. Now, Klay Thompson, in his 31 minutes, he had 18 points and had 4 assists as well. Not a great game there, but they got it done. They got the job done, had a really nice game. So let's go ahead, after we recap the game, let's go ahead and jump into the player pricing. And we're going to do this. This is the reason why we do the player pricing is so that we can get a read on who we like. This is where we get our player pool from. Now, we know tomorrow we've got a huge slate of games. I believe it's a 10 game slate, Big Friday. So we want to know right now who we are going to be hanging our hats on as far as plays that we like and guys that we know we won't be playing. So let's go ahead and we're going to pull up the point totals on my end so that we can get into that and break that down as well. And First thing we always talk about whenever we're building rosters and we're looking for specific values and things like that is because we want to know where to put our money. That's a big part of this. A big part of this is what tournaments to play, what slates to play. So slate recognition is a major key. Now, as you can see, you've got 10 games starting here at 7 p.m., right? You've got that. You've got a really nice turbo starting at 8. There's going to be 6 games there. And we've got a 2-game late at 9 p.m. So what that's telling me is make you some lineups in the turbo. Make a lineup or 2 in the turbo. Throw them bitches in the main. A lot of times, this lineup doesn't start good. You rush your guys at 7 o'clock. Oh, shit. Guy got scratched late. So then you just be like, fuck it, I'm going to make some lineups, throw them in a turbo. And then this lineup does better than most of the lineups in here. So make a lineup in the turbo, throw that bitch in the main. Just do it. It'll be all good. Just do it. So go ahead, open it up. And here we're going to take a look at our DraftKings pricing to see what we can look forward to tomorrow. Up. First thing we see is Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook rearing his ugly head for that huge salary that I will not be fucking with. Alright, so we got Russell Westbrook here at 13K. No. I'm not doing it. I'm just not. No. There's no fucking way I'm paying that much. I mean, it's an LA guy, but the game is in Oklahoma City, so they're not going to LA. He has no reason to just, score 100 points because let's do the math, man. At 13,000, 13K in salary on a 10-game slate. What you be asking for from him? You need 80 points from him in order to make value. Now, is it doable? Yes, of course it's doable. Of course. But against the Lakers, no Lou Williams. Nobody to really keep pace with those guys. But these are kind of two bad teams with a couple good players. I don't know, man. I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can do it. Jokic at 10.8 at home against the Denver Nuggets. Of course, he's going to want to bounce back. Going up against a kind of a formidable play. Very similar player, actually, in Brook Lopez. I think I'd rather just take Brook Lopez for the discount and not roster him at 10.8. That's just my opinion. Karl Anthony Towns, 10.5. Probably going to be seeing a lot of Nerlens Noel. I don't like that. John Wall, yes, I like him at 10.1. Going to Philadelphia, I like that. Giannis at 9.6 against the Utah Jazz. I kind of don't like that. The game is in Milwaukee. That's the only good thing about it. But against the Utah Jazz, they play such a slow pace. I don't think I'm going to want a piece of that. Jimmy Butler against Phoenix, 9.4. Yes, you can give me some of that. I do like Isaiah Thomas at 9K. I think it's a fair price for him going to Toronto to take on the Raptors. Kawhi Leonard is in play for me at 8.7. I like that. Blake Griffin at 8.6. No, I don't want that too much. Bledsoe, yes, at 8.5. I kind of like that. Kyle Lowry is in play at 8.4. We know that, Isaiah Thomas is a great player, but he can't guard nobody. So I think Kyle Lowry is definitely in play for me too. Hassan Whiteside at 8K, no for me against Dwight Howard and all like that. Chris Paul is probably not going to be playing tomorrow, so you have to worry about that. Andrew Wiggins at 7.9 is not a play that I'm particularly interested in tomorrow. Paul George at 7.9 against Memphis is a no for me. DeMar DeRozan is not a play that I really like tomorrow at 7.8, but he's cheaper than Kyle Lowry, so we can give him a look. Yeah, we can give him a look. Marc Gasol, yes. Automatically, yes. Will Barton at 7.6 is a no. The price is still too high. Yes, give me some of that. Give me some of that Mike Conley up against Jeff T defense. I'll take that all day long. Paul Millsap at 7.4, no for me. I like Gordon Hayward at 7.3. Dwayne Wade, if he does play, I like him at 7.2. Rudy Gobert, of course, is in play at 7.1. I like Rudy Gobert. Bradley Beal is in play for me at 7.1 as well. Jeff Teague is a no for me at 7K, taking on that stingy Memphis perimeter defense. I don't like him. Markieff Morris is in play at 7K. Dion Waiters at 6.9. Of course, he's in play for me. I like him there. Wilson Chandler, yes, at 6.9. We can look at him. Brook Lopez. Like, this is it right here. This is the question for tomorrow's slate I already see popping up. Do you like Jokic or Lopez? I'd rather take Lopez with a discount than pay more. But the dude has a horrible game and his price goes up. Fuck that. No, no. I'm not with that. Goran Dragic, 6.8. Yes, you know I like to attack. I love to attack the point guard position against the Atlanta Hawks. Give me that. I like that. Dwight Howard at 6.8 is a play that I'm very interested in tomorrow. Jameer Nelson, 6.7. The price is up on him just a little bit too much for me tomorrow. I don't like him. I'd rather go Gary Harris if I wanna use the Denver backcourt to attack the Brooklyn Nets. I'd rather go with Gary Harris. Devin Booker 6.7. He's in play for me tomorrow. D'Angelo Russell 6.6. Nulu Williams coming and stealing up all the minutes. Yeah, I like that. Vic Oladipo at 6.5. That price is a little bit high for him. I like to roster him. He's right around 6K, maybe a little bit under. But I see why we could use him tomorrow. Ricky Rubio is a no for me. Steven Adams, 6.4. Yes, you got to love Steven Adams tomorrow. I mean, who else is going to play the center position? They already got rid of Joffrey Lavergne. We know that we're probably going to see, we could see Cantor tomorrow. We could. But I still like Steven Adams, even if Otto Porter at 6.4 is not a play that I'm particularly interested in because we know he's going to see some Robert Covington defense. And if Robert Covington comes to play actual good defense, he can be a stopper. So I don't like Otto Porter that much tomorrow. Dario Saric, in my opinion, is a must play right now at 6.4. I like him. Martin Gortat at 6.4. I kind of like that. Aldridge, yes, give me that. Al Horford going up against going against Valanciunas and maybe a little bit of Serge Ibaka. We can roll with Al Horford at 6.4. I like that. Robert Covington is a player that I'm kind of interested in. Dennis Schroeder is questionable. If he does play, I still don't like him. George Hill is a no for me. Julius Randle, yes, at 6K. I kind of like him there. I don't like Harrison Barnes. I think him and Andrew Wiggins are gonna kind of cancel each other out. I think none of them really have huge games. They both have decent games and not make too much value. The better chance of making value, I think, from between the two, Harrison Barnes and Andrew Wiggins, is going to be on Harrison Barnes. If I had to bet who would make value, it would be Harrison Barnes before it would be Andrew Wiggins tomorrow. DeAndre Jordan at 6K is in play for me. I kind of like him there. Serge Ibaka, 6K. I want to wait to see how he acclimates himself to the offense before I just run out and roster him. James Johnson, yes, at 5.9. I like that. Marcus Smart, 5.8. I like that. Tim Hardaway is a no for me. Wes Matthews is a no for me. Greg Monroe, I don't like him tomorrow. Gary Harris, yes, give me some Gary Harris tomorrow at 5.5K. I like that. Daniil Gallinari, the price is still low. Give me some of that. That's the way I'm going to attack. If I have to attack the Brooklyn Nets and I want to use the Nuggets, I'm going to use these guys here. I like that. Nerlens Noel at 5.5. He's worth a ticket because you got to think he's going to see instant minutes and instant usage at that center position for the Dallas Mavericks. I kind of like him tomorrow. Dirk Nowitzki is also in play for me at 5.5. Michael Carter Williams at 5.5 is not a play that I'm particularly interested in, but we do know that they give it up to the point guards. Phoenix Suns give it up to point guards. We may be able to get some Michael Carter Williams in our lineups tomorrow. Miles Turner is a no for me. TJ McConnell is somebody who I kind of like at 5.5K. Avery Bradley is going to be out tomorrow. Jay Crowder is in play for me. Mason Plumlee, no. Cantor is questionable. If he does play, I still don't want him. Yogi Ferrell, yes, at 5.3. Give me some of that Yogi if he starts. I like that tomorrow. Zach Randolph, I like him at 5.3. Going up against that soft Indiana interior. Gorgie Jang at 5.2 is not a play that I'm particularly interested in. Dad Young is questionable. Gilo Okafor, no for me. I kind of like Valanciunas tomorrow. We always like to attack the Boston Celtics rebounding the basketball. Now, the first time we went through this, he dropped the 50 spot on him. The second time we went back to the well, he had like 13 points. I think we can look at him again. I like him. We got to attack Boston rebounding the basketball. There's two ways to do that in this game, I feel. I think it's Jonas Valanciunas at 5.2, or we can pay up a little bit more to Serge Ibaka at 6K, who's probably going to be shooting threes and getting on people's nerves. So I like Jonas Valanciunas tomorrow. Austin Rivers is a play that I kind of like at 5.1. Tyler Johnson is a yes at 5K. I like him. No Derek Favors for me tomorrow. Jeremy Lin is not a play that I'm really interested in tomorrow. Ronnie Hollis Jefferson at 5K. Wait a minute, Jeremy Lin. If he plays and starts and sees the full allotment of minutes, I do like Jeremy Lin tomorrow. I do like Jeremy Lin tomorrow. Hollis Jefferson at 5K, kind of interesting to me. Taj Gibson, we know that he's been traded to the Oklahoma City Thunder, may not play tomorrow. Bobby Portis at 5K, the price is up a little bit too much on him. Is he going to be a part of the starting rotation? We've got to wait and see on that. Tyson Chandler at 5K, going up against his old team. I think that's a solid play there. We know they're not going to have Taj Gibson anymore. So that was like they were the number one team rebounding the basketball. The Chicago Bulls were. Now without Taj Gibson, they got to take a hit there. I do like Tyson Chandler tomorrow. Kelly Olynyk is a yes at 5K. I like him. Ersan Ilyasova playing for the Atlanta Hawks. I don't like him if he does get the chance to play tomorrow. No Michael Beasley for me. No Juancho Hernangomez for me. Jordan Clarkson is in play at 4.8. Deron Williams at 4.8. They released him. They waived him, so he's not going to be playing. Dwayne Dedman at 4.8 is not a play that I am really interested in yet. Robin Lopez is a no for me. DeMar Carroll, no. Trevor Booker. I like Trevor Booker at 4.6. I know it says this is the 10th ranked DVP against the power forward position, but I just like Trevor Booker in these up-paced matchups. 4.6K, I like to roster him when he's in a high up-paced matchup. I like Trevor Booker tomorrow. Kenneth Reed, 4.6. Nick Young deserves consideration because he can just shoot the long ball so well. TJ Warren is a no for me. Kent Bazemore is not a player that I'm particularly interested in tomorrow. Seth Curry, maybe you can take a shot at Lil Brad, 4.5K. Rajon Rondo is a no. Chris Middleton, 4.4. No. Rashawn Holmes is a no for me. PJ Tucker, Emmanuel, okay. Sean Kilpatrick, 4.3. Somebody that you could give a consideration to. JJ Redick, I like him at 4.3K. I like that. David Lee, 4.3. We can look to him. Malcolm Brogdon is a no for me. Joe Ingles, no. Tony Allen, yes, at 4.2. Bojan, he's been playing with the Washington Wizards. Maybe not be able to play tomorrow, so 4.2 is a no for me. I like Norman Powell at 4.2. I do. Because they got rid of Terrence Ross because they really believe in Norman Powell. So I do like him at 4.2. Even though this is a 10th ranked DVP against that small forward position, I like Norman Powell tomorrow. Nikolai Mirotic, 4.1 is a no for me. Josh Richardson should be playing tomorrow. He's probably going to send Rodney McGruder to the bench. And if that's the case, I kind of like him at 4K if he does get to start. Jamal Murray, yes, give me some Jamal Murray at 4K. I like him. Brandon Ingram is in play at 4K. I like him. Marcus Chris, 4K. I think you can consider that. Monte Ellis, he's been playing a lot better lately, but against the Memphis Grizzlies, I don't want to take a chance on him. Jermichael Green is in play at 4K if he does get to start. Tony Parker is a no. Jamal Crawford is a no. Andre Roberson, 3.9, deserves consideration because he's so cheap. Larry Nance Jr., the same thing. He's so cheap, he deserves consideration. Brandon Knight, no for me, 3.9. Nick Stauskas is a no for me. Raymond Felton deserves consideration at 3.9. Danny Green, I kind of like that. Dinwiddie, if he's starting, I like him at 3.8. But either him or Jeremy Lin. Alex Lin at 3.8 is a play that I'm kind of interested in too. That's very cheap. I like him. I like him tomorrow. I do. So let's see what we have in the way of like a cheap guy. Who is the 3K play of the day for us tomorrow? Who will it be? Maybe some Mike Dunleavy at 3K. Maybe some Okaro White at 3K might be a nice play. They called him up from the D-League. Dante Exum, maybe worth a shot there. Trey Lyles, maybe. Roy Hibbert, no. Whitehead can be a play at 3K. I kind of like him in his spot tomorrow. There's nobody that really just sticks out to me as a 3K guy that I really, really like. So we got to be on the lookout for that. Now, Nick Collison, if Cantor doesn't play, they've gotten rid of Lavergne. We may see a lot of Nick Collison tomorrow at 3K. I kind of like that. If Cantor doesn't play, we know they got rid of Joffrey. He's going to be that second center on the depth chart behind Steven Adams. I like him tomorrow at 3K. Definitely like him tomorrow at 3K. So, all right, now that we have gone over the point totals for tomorrow's 10-game slate, the player pricing, let's do a quick look through some of the point totals for tomorrow. And we're going to go into them a little bit more in depth tomorrow during the midday mix. If you are one of these subscribers to the website and you're already in the Facebook VIP, I'm going to be jumping in the midday mix with you about 2:30 p.m. Eastern. Hopefully, God spares life. I'll be able to jump in there with you, and then we can go ahead and really get into our roster builds, man, and really build some core four rosters and chop it up. So the first game on tomorrow's slate is going to be the Memphis Grizzlies going to Indiana. This is a 207 point point total, with the Indiana Pacers receiving a point. So the Pacers are a home dog. They're a home dog, and I like when teams are home dogs. It gives them just a little something extra to play for, and the fact they're at home, they may be able to put together a really nice showing. So we're looking at the Memphis side, man. You already know what time it is, man. I love Conley. I think we can definitely go to Gasol. I don't like. I think Tony Allen is definitely in play right now. Yeah, in that spot, I like Tony Allen. On the Indiana side, I don't want any Jeff Teague. There's nobody who I really like on the Indiana side. It's just so hard to roster guys against the Memphis Grizzlies because they play at such a slow pace, and you couple that with the fact that they're pretty much a solid all-around defensive team. It kind of makes you not want to take a shot on guys in there. I feel about Memphis the way a lot of people feel about the San Antonio Spurs, especially when they're at home. But they're on the road. They're in Indiana. So maybe you could use some Paul George, maybe a little bit of Monte Ellis if you want to get cheap with it, or maybe some Thad Young if you think that we can do some solid rebounding if he is playing. So this game I'm going to talk about is the Philadelphia 76ers at home against the Washington Wizards. This is a 217 point total, with the Washington Wizards giving up 8 points to the Philadelphia 76ers. And we know Dario Saric going to get started here. I like him because of that. I just like him. Saric is one of my favorite young players. I think he's really good, up and coming. I love John Wall in the spot. He's going to have a really nice game. You can go to Brad Beal. We can go to Markieff Morris in this game. There's a lot to like about the Washington side of this game, and not so much to like about the Philadelphia side, because we know we're probably not going to be seeing Joel Embiid. They did trade Nerlens Noel away. So does that mean we're going to see a lot of Richaun Holmes, a lot of Okafor? We need to stay close and check on that throughout the day so we know who's going to be actually getting the start at center for the Philadelphia 76ers. Whoever gets the start, even though I'm not a big fan of Jahlil Okafor, if he does get a start, man, at 4.2K, you kind of gotta give him a spot in some places if you're doing some multiple lineup builds. So I take that back. I kind of do want a piece of whoever's starting at center for the Philadelphia 76ers. And if that just so happens to be Jahlil Okafor, then so be it. So be it. Next game I'm going to talk about is the Boston Celtics going to Toronto to take on the Raptors. This is a 215.5 point total, with the Toronto Raptors only giving up 3 points at home. So this is going to be a really good game. This is going to be a nice one. And Boston has been coming in really tearing it up lately. They're on a really nice winning streak. So we can look for big games from the backcourts in this game. And I think this is a spot where you can fire up Lowry and DeRozan. There, I said it. I said it. This is a spot where you can fire up Lowry and DeRozan. And Isaiah. I like Isaiah too. I don't like too much else from the Boston side. Jay Crowder deserves consideration. Him and DeMar Carroll kind of, I think, cancel each other out. They both are pretty good wing defenders, and that's kind of their role on the team. They don't have to score a bunch of points. They just got to play pretty good defense along the wing and be that tough presence on the floor. Now, Serge Ibaka coming into his first game, probably going to really, just get himself acclimated to the offense, stand around and shoot a bunch of fucking 3-point shots. I don't think I want to take a shot on him. He could be a decent play, though. But we know we want to attack the Boston Celtics rebounding the basketball. So either I'm going to do that with Serge Ibaka or I'm going to do that with Valanciunas at 5.2K, who I think is a safer bet to double-double in there for me and really return that 6x value. So on the Boston side, Horford is somebody you can look at as well. If you're looking at the bigs, there's a few things I like about this game. Like I said, it's a 215.5 point total, and the Toronto Raptors are giving up 3 points. Next game I'm going to talk about is the Miami Heat going to Atlanta to take on the Hawks. This is a 207 point total. This is equally low to the Memphis, Indiana point total. It's minus 3.5 in favor of the Atlanta Hawks. They are giving 3.5 points to the Miami Heat. For that reason, I think this game's going to be really close. Give me some of Goran Dragic. I like him tomorrow. Of course, I always try to attack Atlanta on the perimeter, most specifically at that point guard position. So I do like him tomorrow. Whiteside deserves consideration, but I probably won't have any of them tomorrow. I like guys like James Johnson a little bit more. I like James Johnson a little bit more than I like, Hassan Whiteside. So we could go out and have a really good game. On the Atlanta side, no Millsap for me. We know that Schroeder is questionable, so we can either see who's going to be starting. If a guy like Malcolm Delaney is going to be starting, like one of those cheap ass fucking point guards, even though it's against the Miami Heat, because he's so cheap, he's probably going to be in play. Uh, Dwight Howard, yes, you can give me some Dwight Howard tomorrow. I think we're going to see Thabo Cephalosha back, so you're not going to see huge minutes from Bazemore, or even from Tim Hardaway Jr. We've got to see how that's going to go because Tim Hardaway Jr. has been playing so well. Do they give Thabo the starting job back and put Tim Hardaway Jr. back on the bench? I don't know. I wouldn't because Tim Hardaway's been balling out. Next game I'm going to talk about is a 215.5 point total. It is the Chicago Bulls at home giving up 6.5 points to the Phoenix Suns. We talked about this some. We know the Suns give it up to the point guard position. If we know we're going to be seeing MCW starting, I kind of do want to give him some consideration there. I like Jimmy Butler a lot in this spot. I think we can look to, if Bobby Portis is moving into the starting lineup or Nikolai Mirotic is moving into the starting lineup to take over for Taj Gibson, I think we can go there. On the Phoenix side, is not too much that I do like. I think the centers are really good in this game. Could be solid spots. We talk about how cheap Alex Lynn is, and as well how cheap Tyson Chandler is. Going up against his former team, going back to Chicago, the team that drafted him. This dude is like 5K. I like that, especially since Chicago changed the dynamic of the rebounding aspect of the team because this was the number one team in the league rebounding the basketball. And I don't see them being that without the toughest guy they had in the trenches being Taj Gibson being gone. So we could definitely look to target the Chicago Bulls when it comes to rebounding. And who better to do that with than a guy who gobbles up rebounds 20 a clip sometime in Tyson Chandler. I like him tomorrow. I think we can look to Drew Bledsoe. I say Drew Bledsoe. Damn. I think we can look to Eric Bledsoe tomorrow. It may be a stretch at 8.5K. There might be some better ways to pay for point guard on this slate, but I think he could be a solid play. I think he can be a solid play. I don't think he'll hurt you if you roster. Next game I'm going to talk about, Utah Jazz going to Milwaukee to take on the Bucks. This is the lowest point total on the slate, 200.5 points, with the Utah Jazz giving up 3 to the Milwaukee Bucks. A point total that low kind of screams fade. But there's some really, really good stars in this game. And there's some guys that on the Milwaukee side that are missing or just coming back from injury. So we know Giannis is going to have full run in this game. Does that make me want to roster him? Kinda. Will I? Probably not. On the Utah side, I love me some Gordon Hayward, man. Dude's been lighting it up. I think he's the first Utah Jazz player to average 22 points a game since Karl Malone. So this dude is really good. He's a really, really great player and a really good scorer. I like him. George Hill's not somebody who I particularly like, which makes me like Gordon Hayward even more. The only other guy on the Utah offense that I really feel like I can roster with confidence would be Rudy Gobert. And you got to ask yourself, is this point total low because there's not going to be a lot of shots taken or because there's going to be a lot of shots missed? And I think for the Milwaukee side, it's going to be a lot of shots missed, which leads a lot to pick up for Rudy Gobert. I like him tomorrow. The next game I'm going to talk about is a 203-point total. The Dallas Mavericks going to Minnesota to take on the Timberwolves. The Wolves are giving up 3.5 points to the Dallas Mavericks in this game. Now, we know we're going to see Yogi Ferrell starting. I like that. We know that there may be some disgruntled feelings with a guy like Ricky Rubio as trade rumors abounded. Had him about to get sent packing and go to New York, which I'm kind of mad that deal didn't get done. We should have got that deal done because I do like Ricky Rubio. But I don't like him too much tomorrow. Not a big fan of Ricky Rubio tomorrow. Even though that DVP that we've been seeing against point guards was against Darren Williams, and probably Yogi Ferrell is going to be getting the start since Darren Williams has been released. The point total is just too low for me to be in love with a point guard in this game. I like to roster point guards in the higher point total games because they have, they can actually have more to do with the game than just scoring themselves. They can assist the ball, and the more points you see scored, the more assists they probably are that the points stem from. So I won't be rostering too many point guards. For only be rostering one point guard from this game. And it'll be Yogi Ferrell if he does get the start, and the price is very good on him. So I kind of like that. I like Dirk Nowitzki in this game a little bit. I think he can take Gorgie Jang away from the box and maybe step out and shoot that deep shot against them, which will also help Nerlens Noel on this game too. I think I'm going to give him a shot tomorrow. I kind of like Nerlens Noel on the Minnesota side. The price is up on Cat 10.5K. I think that's a little bit too much for me right now. I'm not particularly in love with rostering um, Andrew Wiggins tomorrow. So the points are got to come from somewhere. And if I don't like Rubio, I don't like if I don't like Wiggins and I don't like Towns, then I gotta like Rubio a little bit more. Rubio does get a bump from me tomorrow. On the data side, we talked about Harrison Barnes already during the player pricing. If I had to choose between him and Andrew Wiggins, I would choose him. I think he's going to be in a solid spot tomorrow. Next game I'm going to talk about is a 221 point total. It's the Oklahoma City Thunder giving up 10 points to the LA Lakers. That blowout is not going to be a blowout, I don't think, because Oklahoma City Thunder is a bad fucking team. They're not a good team. They're a bad team. Even at full strength, nobody injured, 100% healthy. They're just a bad fucking team. Without Kevin Durant, that's not a great team. It's not a good team. And you're gonna have Russell Westbrook running around with a chicken with his head cut off, getting triple doubles and shit. But that doesn't mean that this game's gonna blow out. I don't see this game blowing out. The Lakers side is a lot to like. I think on the Lakers side because the guys are cheaper and they actually got rid of a guy who saw a lot of usage off of the bench. So this is going to make some room for a few of the guys I feel like having to get in the run that they need. Guys like Jordan Clarkson hasn't been seeing a ton of run, but Lou Williams there. We know they would yank D'Angelo Russell very quickly. If he did the first thing wrong, they'd take him off and throw Sweet Lou ass in there real quick. That doesn't happen without with Lou Williams gone. So those are two guys that I kind of like tomorrow on the Lakers side. We can always look to Julius Randle. The price is still very reasonable on him. And if you wanted to go maybe a center in this game, you can look at Zubac because I think Magic Johnson coming in is going to shake some things up a little bit. You could sit this one out when it comes to the Lakers, just so that you can see what's going to be happening going forward. Look at some of their rotations with Lou Williams out of the fold. But I think some guys are in line for some minutes increases, and I don't have any problem with that on the Lakers side. Do I want to pay 13 grand? No. Will I? Maybe in one spot. The only way I'm going to play a guy like Russell Westbrook tomorrow is if a tremendous amount of value opens up. And this both have to happen. A and B have to happen. A tremendous amount of value has to open up. Good value. B, I'm only going to have him in one lineup. That's where I'm at. Steven Adams doesn't play for me, definitely. Canterbury plays. I'm not going to jump into rostering him. I got to wait and see what that approach is. Even though it wasn't like a leg or a knee injury, something that's going to affect him, getting up and down the court, I just still think that there's other places I can go to get for show starting, good numbers where I don't have to depend on a guy that was dumb enough to punch a fucking chair to come back and really, just pick up where he left off. First game back. No. Next game I'm going to talk about is the Brooklyn Nets going to Denver to take on the Nuggets. Now, the Denver Nuggets are on a back-to-back. They were just in Sacramento. Denver is not too far away in Colorado. So we imagine that they made it there, arrived safely this last night or whatever. You can look at the Denver Nuggets. It's a 231-point total. With the Nuggets giving up 10 points to the Brooklyn Nets. Everybody gives the Brooklyn Nets points. But them motherfuckers be in games. They don't just lay down and die. And there's a lot to like about this game. If we know that we're going to see a full-strength Jeremy Lin tomorrow, I like Jeremy Lin. I do. I think I would much rather take, we talked about this already, I would much rather take Brook Lopez at the price point that he's at rather than paying up 10.5K for Jokic. Even coming off a bad game, a lot of people are not going to be on him for the same reasons that I'm talking about. That would lead me to maybe rostering him maybe one or two if I'm throwing out 10 lines. But if I'm just going with a 3 or 4 line, 5 lines, I probably won't have him in there. I probably won't. So Gary Harris is a player that I really like. I do not like Jameer Nelson, man. The price is still up on him. We know we can attack Brooklyn on the perimeter, but they play pretty decent against point guards. So I would much rather take Gary Harris in that matchup against the Brooklyn Nets perimeter play. We talked about me kind of liking Trevor Booker on the block. This is going to be up tempo matchup. I like him at any time he's in those. Bojan is gone, so who's going to see that shooting guard usage? I think it's going to be Kilpatrick. I kind of like him tomorrow. So I think there's a lot to like about this game as well. The last game on the slate is going to be the San Antonio Spurs traveling to the LA Clippers. There is not yet a point total or a spread for this game, as we know that CP3 has not been ruled out or in. He's questionable at this point, may not play tomorrow. And, a lot hinges on if he's going to play or not. And the crazy part about this is this game is so late that we may not get some popped in San Antonio news until after lineups are already locked. So you want to be really careful tomorrow rostering San Antonio players. Guys I like from the Clippers side, I like Austin Rivers again. I think he can have a really nice game. Remember, this guy's on the back-to-back. I think we can look to Blake Griffin to really go out and have a good solid rebounding game and kind of a bounce back game that he had the other night or last night. And I also think we can look at DeAndre Jordan some too. On the San Antonio side, Kawhi is always in play. Definitely, you can give a look to Tony Parker if you like. If we know that we're not going to see Pau Gasol and we get the start from Dwayne Dedmon, he's not a player that I'm particularly interested in. But I see why you may want to roster him because he's going to be so cheap. LaMarcus Aldridge is also a guy that is in play. Now, we have went over the core 4 review, went over the feature 4 plays, jumped into the recap. That was really nice. Hit up the player pricing, talked about the point totals, done everything that we needed to do here tonight in the DFS sweatshop. And I am so thankful, so glad that so many of you have come along on this fantastic voyage with me through this year's NBA DFS. Don't forget, we're rolling straight into MLB, man. It don't stop. It don't stop. This DFS shit don't stop. Because as long as there's sharks, we got some hunting to do. You hear me? Now, if you'd like to support the show more than you already are, and believe me, you are supporting the show in its purest form by giving me your voice, your like, your comment, your share, your subscriptions, whatever. If you would like to support the show a little bit further, there is a box over there that says support the show. Click that motherfucking box and let it take you where it has to take you. Also, you can go to the website www.dfssweatshop.com. That's where you will receive all of our tools and tips and tricks and tutelage to prepare you and make you into a profitable daily fantasy sports player. Also, if you want to copy some DFS sweatshop swag, the hats are coming soon. You see the hats? The hats are dope. I like the hats. They're coming soon. Those are in production. But we still got the t-shirts, we got the hoodies, all that for you. There's going to be a link in the bottom of this video in the description for you to go ahead and follow to get you some sweatshop swag. Also, if you want to support my personal PayPal, man, it's simmonsmaurice95@yahoo.com. Go ahead and hit me up, man. But the number one thing I want y'all to do when you're in a DFS sweatshop is keep it 300.